Things can be very different from how you imagined.
Oh, don't let him bother you. Dad's always been boring and annoying.
Oh, don't know about that. More to your father than meets the eye.
Like what?
Well, when I first met him, he was a very different man.
What's up, everyone? So glad you're here. I'm Paul, your guide to better English. And today, we're diving into English with the heartwarming British classic movie, Paddington. We're going to learn a ton of useful everyday expressions. For example, in one scene, this lady says, "There's more to your father than meets the eye."
Don't know about that. More to your father than meets the eye.
That basically means someone is more interesting, clever, or capable than they seem at first. Anytime a person looks ordinary but actually has hidden skills, secrets, or a cool personality, you can use this phrase. Before we jump in, I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite movie, series, or even podcast to learn English from? Drop it in the comments so we can all share ideas and learn together. All right, let's get started.
I was not much older than you are now.
Was it hard to find a home?
I had a great aunt who took me in.
Took me in means someone allowed you to stay in their home and gave you shelter when you needed help. For example, after my house was damaged, my cousin took me in. This means I had nowhere to go, so he let me stay in his house.
How much? Marmalade?
My uncle always kept a marmalade sandwich in his hat, in case of emergency.
You're pulling my legs off. What a splendid idea.
First, let's look at the phrase, "you're pulling my leg." We use this phrase when something sounds too strange or hard to believe. At first, we think the person is joking, so we react in a dramatic way. In this scene, the man is surprised by the idea he hears. What first sounds silly suddenly turns out to be very smart for survival. That's when we use our next word, a splendid idea. This does not just mean a good idea. We use it when someone thinks of something clever, helpful, and impressive, and it makes us feel surprised in a good way. So, putting marmalade in a hat in case of an emergency, that's a splendid idea, isn't it?
One night, you said. One night.
I know.
You promised to take him to the
I
authorities.
never promised.
Well, you very heavily implied it.
Sometimes you don't say things out loud, but you make sure the message is crystal clear. That's exactly when this phrase is used. Let's understand it with an example. Imagine your boss says, maybe someone could start thinking about the deadline while looking directly at you. Here, the boss didn't mention your name, but the way he looked at you made the message very clear. So you could say, my boss didn't say my name, but he very heavily implied it.
No problem, madam. Many apologies if I disturbed you. It's just I keep an eye on all the comings and goings, and there's been a few unsavory characters hanging around.
Unsavory characters are people who seem bad or unsafe. You can often notice them quickly, even if they haven't done anything wrong yet. Something about them feels strange, shady, or dangerous. In this scene, the man uses this phrase to talk about the bear. The bear hasn't done anything wrong, but the man still thinks the bear is dangerous. Now, let's take a moment to review the words and phrases we explored today. We learned that "there's more to your father than meets the eye" reminds us that people are often more interesting, capable, or complex than they first appear. Then we learned what "took me in" means. Then there was "you're pulling my leg," that playful moment when someone is clearly joking with you. We explored the phrases "splendid idea" and "very heavily implied it." And finally, unsavory characters, people who feel suspicious or unsafe, even before they've done anything wrong. So that's it for today. I hope you learned something new. Keep exploring, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.